Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs7 here again, and I'm currently on my Hardcore Ironman account, but this is not going to be a video talking about the progress of that account, although I have officially started a new progress video. Number 32 is in the works. I've got several clips already recorded for it, and I'm not going to show my stats in this video to avoid spoiling that. I'm just at Harps right now, so nothing really giveaway of that. I mean, it's something I like to do to AFK. I'm also doing divination on my main account while I do this, although I might go do Bandos or something like a less intensive boss because this is really super AFK doing harps, and yeah, I have been doing some not so AFK things on this account, and I was doing divination on my main account while I was doing that. But I have been doing quite a bit of Telos on my main account, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit here. I've got my notepad right here. That one streak I was on in the last video, talking Telos, that was this streak right here. And I streaked it pretty high up. I went to 236%, and then I ended up dying, unfortunately, I was on 13 kill streak, and I died. I had such a bad P3, it was just absolutely terrible. Since then, I've gotten much better at P3, and I haven't gotten nuked ever since then, I don't think, because of the way I do it now, and it definitely helps me out a lot just practicing it, and just, I approach it in a little bit of a different way now than before, because before what I used to do was when I was dodging the Gillinor uppercut attack, I would surge along the beam, but that's just a bad idea, because then the golems will revive themselves and you will be in the beam still, and it will probably be bad to get out of the beam because it will start hitting Telos. So when I surge away, I surge out of the beam, so I do not have to worry about being in the beam and having to deal with the golems and all that. So yeah, that has helped me out a lot in improving my P3, and I haven't really struggled since then. So after I died then, I started another streak at 100% in Rage, and I tried learning full manual for a few kills. Like, I think I did these 4 or maybe these 5 kills with full manual. And it wasn't really working out that well, because obviously all I did was I went and used it at dummies for maybe 10 minutes and then went and tried it at Telos. I didn't fail any of the kills, but I don't know, I felt like I was missing out on some DPS, because sometimes I would forget to hit my basics, and it was just not as good for me. Probably in the future I will try and learn full manual a little bit more, while practicing it at some easier bosses first, and then try and bring it to Telos, because it is very nice to use at Telos. Like, it's kind of weird the way I do my combat and my sort of at Telos and in general. I kind of use Revolution, but I like manually fire a lot of my abilities. Like, I manually cancel Concentrated Blast, as you really should do. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of the time I'm pressing my basics, but then there's like maybe 1 or 2 basics per like rotation that I don't press, and those were what were sort of tripping me up. But in the future, I think I could definitely learn full manual, as long as I took the time to practice it first before jumping straight into Telos. But yeah, I did switch back to Revolution. I continued that streak, and I went all the way up to 266% with a 15 kill streak, and then I claimed the loot because I was spooked to go any higher. That was my highest in Rage, and it still is my highest in Rage currently, 266%. I haven't ever tried pushing in Rage. All I do is just streak, and sometimes I end up going higher than my max in Rage on the streaks. And I am currently on quite a long kill streak at this point. Oh yeah, also obviously I got 100 KC, which is cool, I guess. That's for, that's one of the requirements for like final boss or whatever, but not really going for that at the moment. It's just a thing I thought I'd talk about. But I decided to try out starting at 0% in Rage, and at this point I feel like I might start doing that rather than doing 100%, because you can get maybe anywhere from 8 to 10 kills before you hit 100% in Rage, and that just gets your streak started off really nice. And it only takes like maybe an hour of Telos to get those kills all the way up to 100% in Rage, because without P5 I do my kills a lot quicker, and obviously the health is lower because it's in Rage is low, and it's really fast just smashing out those kills. I might use my Maniacal for that in the future. I don't know, it's might be a kind of a waste, but I don't really feel comfortable using it on higher enraged kills at the moment. So yeah, I did all these kills just below 100%, and then this was my first kill with P5 in the rotation, and at the moment I am all the way down here. I've done, so it's quite a long streak. It's my longest streak ever, but again, like I said, I feel kind of weird counting it if I start at 0% because there's like all those kills without the P5 in it. But oh, this is my hardcore Ironman. I don't know what I was doing here, but I'm still on that streak at the moment. I just finished doing this kill about 20 minutes ago, and my aura ran out, so I stopped. And it's going pretty well so far. I think I'm at about 233% in rage, and this is like a 23 kill streak. So, but if you go off of P5s, I've only done 12 P5 kills. So, yeah, unfortunately, no luck yet. I've seen tons of people, like with videos and pictures on Reddit and stuff. I've seen tons of people getting staves, getting orbs in like this range of enrage, like anywhere from 200 plus with any like variation on the streak. If they start from 0, if they start from 100, I've seen plenty of people getting that. So I feel like I will definitely get a drop before too long. Nobody really knows the exact drop rate, but some people say that orbs are around 1 in 100. I think you got lit up, the guy who does massive streaks and is the highest enraged kill in the game at the moment. I think he averages 1 out of 87 with orbs, but that is obviously because he just goes on insanely high streaks. So I'd say it's more like 1 out of 100, maybe a little bit worse than that for me because I'm not going super high with my streaks at the moment, but I feel like I'm getting more and more comfortable with the boss, and I will eventually be able to go to much higher streaks, like at least up to 500% on a streak to get the warden and everything. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. The main thing, I just kind of get nervous, honestly, when I'm doing it, and once I'm in the groove, like once I've done a few kills, I don't get too nervous. I do, I do feel a little more confident after I get some successful kills. But after I take like a break, let my auras cool down and stuff, I get like nervous when I'm about to go back. So that's something I kind of need to kick. Hopefully, get my confidence in the boss a lot higher the more I do it. And yeah, I really am enjoying it. It honestly isn't that terrible. Like for losing, I'm not really losing that much money, if any. I don't really know. Obviously, it's hard to quantify how much money you're losing aside from just potions and stuff. Obviously, you have the gear and divine charge costs that it's kind of hard to keep track of, as well as the overload costs, which I obviously can't really tell. I don't really pay attention to, considering I have quite a decent stock. But this chest I have going right now is about 20 mil. I think it's like 18.5 mil. So even if I die, it's still gonna be around 13 or something mil, because at this point, since I'm over a 15 kill streak, I maintain the maximum amount of loot upon death, which is 75%. So it's, not a massive loss to die at this point. So I might just try and streak till I get an item or until I die, but I don't know, I might pussy out depending on how I feel. Like if I do a kill and I like barely get the kill at that point, then I probably will end up cashing out because I'm just kind of a little puss. But really hoping I can get a drop soon. I would be okay with an orb, would be ecstatic with a staff, and would be absolutely pissed with a bow or a sword. I would also be ecstatic with a codex. So either one of those two drops. But obviously it's like a 1 in 3 if I'm going to get the staff versus the other two. So yeesh, it's kind of spooky. I would kind of almost rather have an orb just so I don't have to risk the chance of getting a staff or risk the chance of getting a sword or a bow. But yeah, I do enjoy the boss. I just really wish the movement mechanics weren't so fucking wonky. Like, they're absolutely stupid at Telos. I'm sure anybody that's done it will know, or if you've ever talked to anybody that's done it, they'll tell you P3 is just a nightmare because of the movement mechanics with the boss. Like, if the movement mechanics weren't so fucking weird compared to any other monster in the game, it really wouldn't be a problem. Although it's sort of like a similar thing to Vindicta. If you guys have ever done Vindicta, you'll know that a lot of the time he can walk really strangely when laying down the fire breath attack, and like it can kind of mess you up and get you caught in the flames for longer than you really want to be, and it's just like really annoying. The same sort of movement mechanics are applied at Telos. I'm pretty sure they utilized the same movement mechanics as the God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses at Telos as well, so that is where they got the mechanics from, and it's just so stupid. Like, you can be standing in the beam and he can be coming at you from like, okay, let me see if I can get a good picture of this, but it's just like so annoying. Like, I've pretty much found ways to mitigate the issues it causes at this point. I've pretty much been able to mitigate the issues that it causes at this point, to like avoid him being in the beam for too long and stuff like that. I've just like figured out methods to stop it and just make it easier for me to prevent anything bad from happening there and in that phase. So let me pull up this picture. Will do just fine. I randomly found it on Google. But this guy is, of course, blocking the red beam here, as you can see. But let's say the red beam was like somewhere around here, and Telos was in the same sort of position relative to the player who was blocking the red beam. Sometimes he will just come up to you and then just walk like completely through and around you and then just be in the beam himself, and you can't really do anything about it. It's just like absolutely ridiculous how the movement mechanics work, and it makes it really frustrating. You really don't want to have Telos be in the beam if you move out of the beam, if you know what I mean. Like, you want to sort of have him standing off to the side, where if you step towards him, the beam will just go straight to the other side of the room and it won't be on him. I've pretty much figured it out. I do plan on eventually making a guide maybe for the boss once I fully get the mechanics down. Like, phases 1 to 4 I have down pat completely. It's just phase 5 that I still have a lot of room to improve on. But I can usually make it to phase 5 only using a few pieces of food, if any, at low enrage. So it's really not a problem at this point for me to do that. I feel like there are a lot of little tips that a lot of people leave out in their guides, and especially like when to sunshine and when to like use your damage boosting ultimates and when to just use regular ults and stuff, and just like what abilities to use at certain places and to help you in the fight and everything. I just feel like a lot of people leave those things out. And there's also a few little quirks and things with the boss that I've noticed that I haven't heard anyone else talk about in their guides that I feel would be useful to people who would want to see it. So yeah, definitely would be a big project, but I would be interested in doing that once I get a little bit more experienced. But yeah, that's basically it. I just wanted to make sort of a little update video for you guys. I might not have a video on Monday, which is my usual upload day, because I am going to be at a grad party for the weekend, the long weekend. I'm going to be at a grad party, but there isn't supposed to be an update on Monday, so it shouldn't be a huge issue. You guys can expect this Hardcore Ironman progress update to be coming out within the next few weeks. I am going to be playing on this account quite a lot more now. I am sort of getting back into it, and I basically just want to, on my main account, I just basically want to do Telos and then AFK skill after I am waiting on my auras to cool down. That's sort of my status right now, because I'm trying to get those big drops. Sometimes I throw in some racks here and there. I am starting on a racks loot tab. I'm going to try and make a 1k racks loot tab eventually. That would be pretty sweet to have. But yeah, that's basically it for me, you guys. Just wanted to do a little bit more discussion about Telos and my experience with it, as I've done some more of the boss. And yeah, looking forward to continuing to do so and make some progress on this account as well. See you guys in the next video.